on News Insight, the great Qatar goes home. A president, a former governor, a humanitarian. The Qatar Center has brought a lot of help to Africa. Okafor, Qatar has gone 100 years.
Yes, it's
the
remarkable.
The US president to hit that mark.
Yes, the oldest US president. That's very, very remarkable.
Yes.
You know. And for us in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, it's much more remarkable because Qatar was the first US president to have visited in Nigeria. Wow. That was during Obasanjo's first tenure in 1978. I think precisely he came March 31st and left, I think, at the 3rd of April, 1978. Before then, Obasanjo had visited US in 1977. So he's very, very dear to our heart. And Qatar is known for this humanitarian attitude, the peaceful way, of settling matter. He reintegrated their negotiation with China, back then, even Soviet Union, he reached out to them. A lot of people were saying, he was using kids' glove as against the American military way of doing things. And that's probably what added to giving him his looks. No, not just looks, the award, the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes. So it's remarkable. And at the end of it, I think God blessed him with a long life. So it's remarkable. Somebody like him is something that African leaders should also look up to
and emulate.
And emulate, because he lost in the midst of all these good works, in quote, which some perceived not to be strong enough. He lost his re-election bid to, I think, Ronald Reagan. And accepted it, and he's been home. I think he was about 56 years old when he stopped being American president. And look at how long he lived. Because he wasn't in the political arena trying to remain in office, trying to do all that.
He didn't even try to get re-elected.
So there's a lot we need to learn from that.
Philip, he lost the American presidency, but he won the heart of the whole world. Jimmy Carter, what do you have to say?
Jimmy Carter is a man that has taught humanity how to live after God. Jimmy Carter is that apostle of peaceful living world over. I wasn't surprised that they gave him the Nobel Peace Award, because his life radiates peacefulness. As a city president, like he said, the American believe in combating living, but he never took that route. He went, he extended the hand of peace to the China, hand of peace to the Russia. He ensured that Egypt and Israel, settled their grievances.
The peace treaty
is still
in
there.
1978 was done by Qatar.
By Qatar. Everywhere he goes, all his message is message of peace. And like he said, when the American felt his style of governance was not good enough, he left the scene for them. He never fight to come back like Donald Trump. Donald Trump lost his election. And he felt, he was wrongly removed from office, that he's entitled to do a second term. And he fought back, and I don't know what he left in the White House. But Jimmy Carter was not like that. He said, fine and good. If you don't want my style, okay, but I will continue with the good work. And that's, you see, even when he lost his name, after he lost the presidency, he became there to America after they saw what he was doing outside the office. And the whole world attests to that by giving him that Nobel Prize Award. I think he's a man that every man that believes in God should emulate.
He was always a man that wanted peaceful election, especially in Africa. So they always had a monitoring team going after peaceful transitioning, of governance. Do you understand? And that's what really showed out that he wanted peace everywhere. Yeah. He's been in Nigeria so many times when we had elections.
Thereafter, and all after that. His first visit. So you see, look at what you mentioned about peaceful transfer of power. He just mentioned Donald Trump trying to go back again. Nobody has anything against that. But you remember, Donald Trump is the first American president who refused to attend the inauguration of the person taking over from him.
The first person.
Donald Trump refused to attend the inauguration of Joe Biden. That is an example that nobody in the world should copy. You understand? Jimmy Carter never did it. Donald Trump wasn't the first person to lose re-election. He wasn't the first person. But he refused, tainting the electoral process, calling it all sorts of names. Everything is fraud except you win. If you win, then the process is transparent. If you didn't win, then it's a fraud.
Do we see? Okay, go ahead.
It's the opposite side of Jimmy Carter.
You know, Donald Trump is an African in white human skin.
I don't think we want him in that way.
Okay, so do we have any African in a white man's skin in somebody like Jonathan, Jimmy Carter?
You know, I'm not taking that analogy. I refuse to completely accept that Africans are known for not good. Jonathan is a Nigerian, a black man, and he's a good man. No, hold on. This idea that, maybe Jonathan's gene is from the West, is from... So, I people saying Africans can't do good. We can do good.
And that's not even the route I'm going. The route I'm going is the fact that do we have some similarities between Jonathan and Jimmy Carter? Because since Jonathan left Aso Rock, excellent. He has been a peace ambassador.
Beyond the path of peace.
That makes sense.
All over the world.
That makes sense to me.
So
Jonathan
so do you see that?
Yes, there is a resemblance between Jonathan's way of life and that of Jimmy Carter. Okay? But not saying...
No. I didn't mean you.
No, so I want to agree with you. What we are saying, I agree with you to that. When it is good, it is the white man.
It is the white man.
When it is bad, it's
African.
No. Humanity is humanity.
Exactly. Donald Trump is bad on his own. He's bad on his own. It's not because he has Africa. No, I agree with you. I withdraw that statement. So
me, I wasn't going that route. Okay. The route I was going is that can we see some good
even though we see those similarities in Jonathan should not end up with Jimmy Carter, who will not fight to come back to office. Yes. Because we need the type of Jonathan to rejig the system.
Are you advocating Jonathan coming
back? Of course.
If he comes back, Nigerians will stand beside that. For any reason. If for any reason Jonathan accepts, for any reason to come back today, by any means.
Do you think he will be accepted nationwide?
Oh, he will. The Nigerian had learned, but he told Nigeria that you will remember me when I leave office. And that you will ask me to come back. I will already ask him to come back. I have said so.
February said so too.
But we're not asking for Buhari to come back.
So you see, there are some good stuff in our leaders as well.
Yes.
Do you understand? Yes. Like what we discussed earlier about Farotimi, say I'm going to fight to the end. We said maybe it looks a little bit like what's it called?
Mandela.
Yes, now we are seeing Jimmy Carter, and on the path to which Jonathan. We discussed Jonathan's issue about 2 days, 3 days, or a day ago. How he talks about why people go to court. Why people should not go to court. That even in South Africa, people don't go to court. It's alien for you to say you are going to court. And all that. So some good things about Jonathan. Do you understand? Coming out.
Yeah. So once the power of love in you is more than the love of power in you.
Wow, say that again.
What's the power?
You also become a preacher.
I'm a preacher of good news. I'm a preacher of good news so that Nigerians can be liberated. Dele just said one thing, that we are Dele and Dele is us. That's why when you asked how long was it going to take for Nigerians to liberate themselves? I said for as long as it takes us to do so, we are going to achieve it. Okay, once the power of love in you is greater than the love of power in you, you will take the pathway of Jimmy Carter. In as much as he didn't come back again, like he's saying, if there is opportunity for Jonathan to come back, he's still a very young man. I believe Nigerians are going to open their arms. One, we know him. Before he became president, we know him. He was never excessively ambitious. When he was president, we know him. As a matter of fact, what they blame Jonathan for today is blaming him for not acting, for not doing evil, for not using his power sufficiently.
Yes.
That's the blame people have on him. You understand? So for not even using his power sufficiently. And today, if he, for any reason, he comes back.
And his economic team was top-notch. It was top-notch.
Do you see that? Do you know that Jonathan moves about almost just by himself?
Of course. I hear that he goes to Salo by himself.
By himself?
All by himself. You see,
he doesn't fear no evil.
Like you said, Jimmy Carter, Goodluck Jonathan, is like Jimmy Carter was replicated in Nigeria in the person of Jonathan. You know, he's such a peaceful man. Like I called him a dove. He doesn't like he finished it when he said, when the power of love in you supersede the love for power, you can't but live like Jimmy Carter and thank God Jonathan of Nigeria. You understand? Jimmy Carter displays a power of love at every given point while he was here on earth with us. He never, struggled to. He doesn't have power of, love for power like we see in Donald Trump. He doesn't. He's the one who understands power perfectly. When that power is transient, it comes to you, it leaves you when it's time for it to go. It's a visitor. So it's only when leaders have that understanding that Jimmy Carter has, that power comes and goes, and that when you have it, let love lead. That is only when peace will be in the world. And I use this opportunity to say Jimmy Carter to our leaders today that look, they should take the path of Jimmy Carter so that we can have a better society.
And I also want to tell you that you should also look at the quote by my amiable friend, Kingsley Okafor, and write it down. And I want our Nigerian politician, let humanity be a part of your heart. We'll be right back on News Insight.